Hello, welcome photographers. It is a pleasure to be speaking with you today. This is Sean. I'm the corporate trainer with Circlepix. Today we're going to be going over how to upload your assignment, right? You get your assignment from your Halo account, then you go out and shoot it. Maybe it's one front shot, 5 stills, 5 panoramics. Maybe you have some HDR images that you shot in there. You need to know how to upload your assignment. And that's what we're working on today. This is a very simple process, but it has to be done exactly like I show you, or it won't work. So I know it may sound daunting, but you need to memorize the way that I'm showing you how to do this. And really, it is simple, and I'm giving you this tutorial that will teach you how to do it. So you log in at circlepix.com. Let's log into my photography account, just like you would log into your account. We're logged in. You see my Halo account. Here it is. Here are my jobs over here in my ordered queue. When you schedule a job, it will move to your shot queue. And once you shoot the job, then you can upload it. So here's my job, QCX S49. I am going to copy this job ID. Do you see that right there? QCX S49. I just copied it. Now I'm going to take it to my folder that I have my images in. Here, this folder right here. This folder came from my camera that I just shot the job. I put all of my pictures on my desktop. Now, I have to rename this folder. I'm going to rename it with my job ID. Okay? There it is. QCX S49. Just to make sure that you're getting this, I'm going to show you back to the Halo account here. QCX S49. That's where you can only use this job ID one time to upload this one property. Every property that you shoot has its own ID, and it can only be bulk uploaded one time. So make that note, all right? If it needs to be uploaded again or added to, you're going to do a miscellaneous upload, which you'll learn in another class. But let's go over now the organization of this folder. So we open it up. The front shot that you do, it always has to be an HDR photograph. So you can either process the HDR yourself, or you can give us the 3 pictures and we will process it for you. All right, so here's my front shot, right? I've got 3 pictures. Each one has a different exposure value. But we need to process this, so we're going to make a folder for the front shot. Front _ HDR, just like that. And then we're going to grab these 3 pictures here, put them into the front folder, and we've got it. Front _ HDR. You do not rename the pictures within the folder. They stay the same as they came out of your camera, but the folder's called front _ HDR. Now, we have some still images. These images are not HDR images. These are just images that I took, and once Circlepix gets them, we will enhance them for you. So I'm going to make a new folder now for my still images. We also want your still images to be horizontal. If you have to take a vertical still image, maybe of a small bathroom or a pantry, you can do that. But generally, we take our pictures in landscape mode because they go into the tour viewer and they look better in landscape mode than they do vertically. But like I said, if you have to do it, you have to do it. Now this folder, it must be named stills. Do you see that I named it still? I've got to correct that and name it stills, S-T-I-L-L-S. If you named it still, this process would not work. Like I said, it has to be precise. So I'm going to grab my still images now and put them into the stills folder, just like that. Now we've got our still images in there, And we're going to name these. Let me make these still images bigger so you can maybe see them better. This first picture is a family room. So we're going to name it FR. Now, how do I know to name it FR? I need to show you the room code sheet. Right here in your Circlepix account, this is what you'll need to print so you know how to name your photographs. It's called room codes, and it's right here in the R section. It's the only R in there, room codes. So how do I need to know how to name a family room? Well, I find family room right here, and to the left of that it says FR. I don't know if I can, I can highlight this. Do you see that? So family room, you name the folder or picture FR. All right, that's where I'm getting my codes from. Let's jump back over here. So we just named the family room FR. Here's a picture of a dining room. Now I know the code for dining room. It's DR. I have it memorized because I've been doing this so long. But you can't name it whatever you want. You have to get that code off of the code sheet, or your picture will not have a name on it on the property site. Now here is a picture of a kitchen, so we name that KI. Lowercase is fine. I would just use lowercase for everything. Here's another picture of a kitchen. So now we have a problem, right? Because we can't name it KI. We have to name it something else. And we're going to do that right now. All right. Let me name this folder KI2. What that means is kitchen second view. KI2, I want you to make a note of this. Write this note down on a piece of paper right now. This will help you. KI2 equals kitchen second view. And then write this down on the note paper right underneath that. 2KI equals second kitchen. So if you were in a mansion house and it had two separate kitchens, you would have the first one, it would be KI, and any other views of that kitchen would be KI2. Now, if you had a second kitchen in the basement, you would name it 2KI, which equals second kitchen. And you would do the same with a bathroom. The first one, here's a bathroom. Right here, let me make it bigger so you can see it. Bathroom. We're going to name this BA, which stands for bathroom. I'm getting that from the room code sheet right here. See this? It says bathroom, and it says BA next to it. Now, if a second bathroom, you would name it 2BA, which equals second bathroom. All right, I think you get that. Now we've got, well, you're going to learn it a little bit more right here. Here's another picture of that family room, right? Let me make it bigger, right? And this is not a great picture. But when we get this picture here at Circlepix, we are going to enhance this and make this picture look better. I want you to always give us your best still image. Some photographers shoot everything in HDR and then process it, and that's fine. You would just put your pictures in here, or if you decide to edit them first, you can edit them. But we will also edit and make sure everything's looking good for your property site. Now, the second picture of the family room, it's going to be called FR2, family room second view, right? Because our first family room's here. Here's our second family room. Here we've got a picture of a deck. And I think it's DK, but just to make sure, here's deck right here. Do you see this? The code name for it is DK. So we're going to name that DK. Let's do it. DK. Now, we've got a second bathroom. So I'm really covering everything here. This should be 2BA, second bathroom. Here's a picture of the backyard. I'll make this bigger so you can see it better. But the backyard code name is BKYD. Stands for backyard. Okay, all of our photographs are named now. This is how you name your still images. If you ever have a living room that's connected to a kitchen, this is how you would name it. You would go to, okay, let's use a family room, for example. Let's say Okay, let's do a realistic example here. Here is a family room with a fireplace. Now, I think we have a code name for fireplace. Let's look. I'm not positive here, but let's see. Fireplace. So FPLC. Do you see that code right there for fireplace? If you wanted to do a dual room code here, you could do family room 2 dash FPLC, fireplace. You don't have any spaces in there, and now when people look at this on your property site, they're going to see family room second view fireplace. That's how you can do a dual room code. No spaces, just use a dash. And you don't have to do that. But that's how you can make that type of a situation happen. All right. Now, so our stills, they're all named. They're in the stills folder. Now we have some panoramic images. One panoramic photo is 16 shots. So here's one. Here's a panoramic of a bedroom. So we look at all 16 shots. They're all there. You can't have less than 16. You can't have more. You can't have any duplicate pictures. You can't have any pictures that are the same. Each picture needs to look good. You can't have a really bright center and then have the next one next to it be really dark. So you need to have the same kind of quality throughout your 16 shots. That's the hardest thing that you'll get used to out of doing this job, is making all your panoramic images be similar, be very close. So we're going to make a folder here, new folder, and this folder is going to be called BR, bedroom. It's going to have the 16 shots in it. So we put those right into the bedroom. There we go. Then, look at this. We have an HDR picture of a kitchen. It's not a very good one, but I'm just using it as an example here. So let's say that you wanted to do, or you had it in an order from the agent to do an HDR image of a kitchen, and you don't process your own HDRs. So this is what you would do. You would take the 3 pictures, and you need to give those to us, and this is how you build this process. New folder, and this would be called KI underscore HDR. And then you would grab these 3 pictures here, you'd put them into the KI underscore HDR, and the differences between the stills and this type of folder is you don't name these pictures in here. You leave them just as they came out of the camera. And it won't be very often, probably, that you'll have an HDR picture like this mixed in. You'll always have the front shot. The front shot always has to be in HDR. But most likely you'll just have a stills folder. Stills will be named, but I just want to make sure you know how to do it if you ever do have this type of a situation where you have an HDR image like this. Sometimes you could have an HDR, the whole tour would be HDR. So you would just have a bunch of folders like this, KI underscore HDR, but you'd maybe have a BR underscore HDR, you'd have an FR underscore HDR, and each folder would have 3 pictures in it. All right, we have one more panoramic here, and it looks like it's a panoramic for a family room. So let's look at this. Here's our family room. 16 shots of a family room, no more, no less, but we need a folder for it. So it's got to be called FR. And then we're going to grab these 16 shots here, put it into the FR folder. You do not rename pictures in panoramic folders, right? They're named just as they came out of your camera. Let's do a review, okay? You have to have a front shot. There's our front image. It's the 3 pictures. Circlepix is going to put these 3 pictures together, and we're going to turn it into an HDR great-looking image. Then you have your stills folder. These pictures have to be named according to the room code. Then you have a panoramic folder. Here's a panoramic of the family room. You do not rename these images, but the folder has to have a name on it. Here's a bedroom panoramic. 16 pictures. They're named according to the code. All right, excellent. Now, let's do a review, right? Let's minimize this. Here is my folder on my desktop, QCXS49. I open it up. It's got the Everything has to be just like this. Now, some of you will process your own HDR images, right? So here, this is how your folder would look if you processed your own HDR image. If you weren't giving us the 3, pictures that we put together, you would just have one picture out loose here. Now, this is very important. If you give us the one picture of the front that you process, it will be called front, and it will be out loose all by itself here. We open it up, we see a front shot. Okay, same thing for everything else. Here's the stills folder. It's got our stills in it. They're named according to a code. And here's a kitchen folder. It's got 16 shots of the kitchen. All of those that's how you have to be organized. Now, I noticed that these stills weren't properly named. So let's just do it while we're on the phone. The code name for pool is actually pool. It doesn't have a code name really. Here's another picture of a front shot, right? Now, this is not the main front shot. This is a second front shot. So FVHS. Here's a picture of the dining room that's correctly named. Here's another picture of a deck. That's DK. Here's a picture of a kitchen, KI. Here's a picture of a family room. No, this is more like a living room. So we're going to name that LR. I think living room is LR. Let's just double check real quick here. There's a little review for you guys. Living room, LR. Okay, we've got all these things named according to the code. Pool, living room, kitchen, front view house. I don't want you to get confused. I'm throwing this front view house in here. This is not going to be the main front shot. This is just a still image within the stills folder. Your main front shot has to be out loose right here, called front. If you ever have an extra picture of the front, you can put it in here in the stills folder and call it FVHS. Right? Where am I getting that FVHS from? I'm getting it from the room code sheet. Right? Right here, front view house. But do not get this confused with your main front shot. If you name your main front shot FVHS, you will not have a front shot on your project because our system will not recognize it. The front shot, like I said, it has to be named front. I know I just repeated myself, but you've got to know this. Okay, great. So we have 2 jobs that we put together today. EFRTH6, QCXS49. Now, how do we send these to Circlepix? We need a dated folder. So we're going to make a folder. We're going to call it today's date, 6-1-17. And then we put these job IDs into this folder, just like this. We've got them both in there. We can open it up. So if you ever have multiple jobs in one day, it always goes in a dated folder. Okay, if you had 5 jobs in here, that's fine. You can have 5 jobs in your dated folder. If you have 1 in here, 1 job, you can just have 1 job in here. Let's take this one out. You can have 1 job in your dated folder, but if you have 2, they have to go in the dated folder. Now, what do you do next? You have to zip the dated folder. So I'm going to right-click on it. I'm going to go to Send to Compress Zipped Folder. It's going to zip the dated folder, and then we're going to send this to Circlepix. So it's compressing right now. If you're on a Mac, you do Control-click on it, and it should give you an option to compress the dated folder. Once the dated folder is compressed, we're ready to send it. All right, here we are. Here's our dated folder. So now we go back to our Halo account, and this is what we do next, right? The job, it's in our shot queue. It is ready to be uploaded. So we're going to click on this right here, bulk upload. Now we're going to choose our file. We're going to choose the zipped folder on our desktop. So where is it? It is right here, 6/1/2017. And we're just going to click upload. And this could take This could take 2 minutes. It could take 30 minutes. It depends on the internet traffic. It depends on your connection. It depends on, I don't know what else it depends on. Maybe if you're in Hawaii and it's traveling under the sea or through space, could take a little more time. There it is. QCX S49 were uploaded successfully. This is the message that you have to see. Now there's one more check that you need to do to make sure that Circlepix gets your assignment. And that's right here. We're going to refresh the screen here. Refresh. And you must verify that the job moves to your uploaded queue. QCX S49, successful upload. It's in our uploaded queue. Now we should see this post. If you upload it in the morning, it should post later today. If you see that it takes too long, like if you see that in there more than 24 hours, you should call us and say, hey, I uploaded my job, but it's still in my uploaded queue. It's been 24 hours. Most likely, you made a mistake, and we're going to have to check it out and see what you did wrong, and you're going to have to fix your mistake, and you're going to have to do a MISC upload. It's the same type of process of upload. You just have to use this different area here that says MISC upload. You'll learn about that in a different class. Thanks for being here today. Those are the instructions on how to upload images, your property site to Circlepix. Let me know if you have any feedback or if there's something that you didn't understand, because like I said, it has to be done just like that. Thanks so much for being here.